Hello everyone, I'm attorney Vince Hein with Russell Law Offices, and in this video we're going to talk about special needs planning in Wisconsin. So the purpose of special needs planning is to provide by your estate plan for somebody who has special needs. So sometimes that can be somebody who's elderly with dementia, or it can be somebody who's younger with cognitive impairments. And generally the goal here is to leave them something in a way that does not bump them off of their public benefits. Now there's more to special needs planning. This will be kind of a cursory review, but and we're really focusing more on the estate planning side. But we want to make sure that your beneficiary can get access to money, but they don't lose their public benefits. So for example, a lot of people with special needs are on means-tested government benefits, like Social Security disability, supplemental security income rather, as well as Medicaid. And for both of those benefits, you can't have more than $2,000 in your bank account. Really it's $2,000 on the last day of the month. You can go above that, but you have to get it back down. If you do have too much money in your bank account, then now you lose your Medicaid benefits and you would lose your supplemental security income. And then what typically happens is that money ends up getting spent down only for you to go back on benefits. So we want you to keep those benefits, but have some access to additional funding on top of that. And there's a couple different ways to do that. In Wisconsin, and really in all states, there's going to be at least one pooled and community trust. In Wisconsin, we have two. We've got Life Navigators in Wauwatosa, and we have WISPACT, W-I-S-P-A-C-T, in Madison. So those are pooled trusts. Those are really nonprofits where money can go into for the benefit of that beneficiary. They'll have a professional trustee manage it. A family advisor then request money for the benefit of the beneficiary, and then the trustee of the WISPACT trust or the Life Navigators trust would decide, can this money be paid out or not? And the analysis would be based on whether you're going to lose your benefits or not, right? So a lot of times what happens is instead of the money going directly to your loved one, it goes to a third party. So let's just say they want a new couch. Well, rather than give them the money for the couch to go buy it, the money goes directly to the company that is going to sell and deliver the couch. That way you don't have to worry about that $2,000 pot getting too big and them getting bumped off of Medicaid or supplemental security income. Now, you don't have to use WISPACT or Life Navigators. Those are just examples of what we have here in Wisconsin. You can do a standalone trust where you pass away and now your other child is managing that trust as trustee, or an uncle, a loved one, a neighbor. Sometimes it can be challenging to find the appropriate trustee, which is why using WISPACT or Life Navigators can be a great advantage. But you can have a family member or a family friend manage that money. A couple things to keep in mind here is, if you're leaving money in a trust for one of your loved ones, that's going to be what's called a third-party trust, meaning when that beneficiary dies, the money in that trust doesn't have to go back to pay the state back, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services, for example. Instead, that special needs beneficiary, once they pass, if there's any money left in their trust, it can go down to the next set of beneficiaries. On the other hand, sometimes the special needs beneficiary is just getting money outright. They're going to get $50,000. We still want to do a trust to get them so they can keep their benefits, but now they're going to have to do it on their own or through their power of attorney or through their guardian, and that's going to be what's called a first-party trust. And the downside there is any money at the end does get used to pay back the state to cover their cost of care. So that's some basic estate planning type of ways to address special needs planning, and that's really addressing it after you pass away. Certainly there's other considerations to take into account. But that's the basics of special needs planning in Wisconsin. I will add one more note in that a lot of times people who don't practice a lot in this area will set up a special needs trust for somebody who's on SSDI, and that's Social Security Disability Income. But that's not means tested, so you don't need to do it just for that. If they're on Medicaid too, then that makes sense. But sometimes I see these and they really don't need to be a true special needs trust. They could just be a discretionary trust with a little bit of a difference to it than not solely designed, for special needs planning. So just another thing to keep in mind. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about special needs planning in Wisconsin. I'm attorney Vincent Hein with Russell Law Offices. Thank you for watching this.